The Department of Justice is investigating the University of Montana. Apparently, over the past 3 years, there were 80 alleged rapes involving University of Montana students. However, those cases were not adequately investigated. So the Department of Justice is getting involved to figure out why this is happening.
All right. When I first read the headline, I thought it was in the state of Montana, and I was like, well, it depends. You know, any rape is terrible, but 80 in a state over that period. Then I found out, no, it's just one campus, right? Then you're like, wow, that's kind of a shocking number. But that's not the real problem, okay? It's a huge problem. But the much bigger problem is the lack of justice. That's the same thing as the Trayvon Martin case. It's not that some kid getting shot it's horrible, but it's not like it doesn't happen in the country. It's just when no one does anything about it, that's when you have a real issue.
Remember, we did that story about fraternities and how, they have a very misogynistic, especially at Ivy League schools like Dartmouth, right? Where they have like a misogynistic point of view, perspective, and in a lot of cases, women feel obligated to sleep with the frat brothers. And there's just this like culture there that seems very accepting of sexual assault, right?
Well, in that great Rolling Stone article, there was the classic line of, if you drink our beer, you got to have sex with us. You know, I'm paraphrasing. And like, what did you expect? Well, obviously there was going to be sexual assault if you didn't agree to have sex with me after you drank my beer. Like, whoa, whoop-de-frickin-do on your frickin' beer.
Right, and there's this whole question as to why these schools don't properly investigate these situations. They kind of just brush it under the rug. And obviously, it's because these administrators don't want their university to have a bad name. They don't want any publicity around this. They don't want any investigations into the university. So they just kind of ignore it and pretend like it's not really happening. In fact, in a lot of cases, and we've done these stories on TYTU, female students will go to the administrators and the administrators will kind of discourage them from speaking out against it.
My guess as to part of what might lead to that phenomenon is that they're worried it's going to give the school a bad reputation.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Now, you know what gives you a really bad reputation? If you don't investigate rapes. Then, yeah, you know what? Women get a little dissuaded from coming to your campus in that scenario. So it's horrible and unjustifiable in 18 different ways. Let me add one last thing, which is mace. Women carry mace. And look, and don't get me wrong, okay? There's no obligation for you to do anything. Okay? You're not doing anything wrong, okay? It's these guys that are doing anything wrong. But if you're faced with someone who's doing something wrong, there's nothing quite as clear as mace, okay?
Yeah, mace is great. I think every woman should carry it. Just to have it, it makes you feel safer just knowing that you have some form of protection with you. And it's not a gun, it's not a lethal weapon, but it's something, right?
Yeah.
And also, another thing that I think female students are not careful enough about is walking alone on campus, especially when it's dark. If you're in a parking lot, if you're in, a dark corner of the university or college, just don't walk by yourself. There are campus police that are literally sitting there waiting to escort you to your vehicle.
Yeah.